A hand-lacquered dial and a Seiko. Not a Grand Seiko, but a Seiko Presage. So this thing is awesome. I've seen a couple other videos online showcasing this, and to see it in person, it's really hard to capture it because of how deep and you get lost in this lacquer. This green lacquer is just so reflective. If that too, it's gonna be really tricky to film this and not have it be reflective everywhere, but I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, just the finish is nuts on this thing. It's extremely well finished, like most Seikos are for their, above their price range. This one is no exception for the finishing on this dial. Absolutely amazing. It's got all the vintage feel with the movement they have here. This type of movement is known as the retrograde function here. So this actually does the date, the day, and then also the power reserve in the top left here. So I'm going to show you how that works here in a second. But yeah, the finishing is really nice in this. The white is so like milky looking. The paint is just absolutely beautiful. And then of course the green lacquer is amazing as well. It is definitely hard to capture this thing. I've got a pretty hot light on it right now, trying to get the colors to kind of come out on it. Going to be struggling a bit with the reflection, but I'm going to do my best. So yeah, the dial is definitely this is what you're paying for in this guy, and you are paying for it. This is a $1,900 watch, retail, or MSRP rather, and that's pretty pricey for a Seiko Presage, and from what my knowledge, but you're getting a lot for the value here, and the dial is just incredible. I mean, it's basically a piece of art. The artist for this piece here is a Japanese artist. I'm gonna try to pronounce this right. Isshu Tamura? Isshu Tamura? I did look that up, and I'm still probably mispronounced it, but I'm trying my best. He's a lacquer artist. He does these hand lacquers, and yeah, the quality in this lacquer is nuts. It's really hard to capture it on camera because it's so reflective. And it has the vintage, this retrograde, vintage inspired movement here, where it does this, has the day and the date along with your power reserve meter. So as you wind it up, you can actually see the little power meter here on the left. Starting to move up a little bit, maybe. Is it going to move up? Yeah, there it goes. As it's building its power reserve. And it does a really cool little snap function here. I'll show you here in a minute too, where when you get to the 31st, it'll pop back over to the 1st. Same with Saturday to Sunday. Really cool feature, really kind of unique. Haven't seen much of that in my experience with watches. But yeah, this is a limited edition. Again, hand lacquered by this Japanese artist, and apparently I did a little bit of research on the whole idea behind it. And the green dial is supposed to represent the moss gardens in this village that this artist is from. So that's really cool. Like that, you're basically wearing a piece of art when you got this thing on. It's pretty damn impressive. Of course, made in Japan. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But yeah, the finishings are very, very nice on this. So let's take a look at this limited edition number here. So this is number 677 of 2000. Got the crystal sapphire in the front and the back. The movement here is the Seiko 6R24 with that retrograde function, of course. And I don't know if that's what requires it is wearing it. I'm going to show the measurements here in a minute, but it is 13 millimeters thick. So that's a little thick in my preference for a dress watch. I like to have my dress watches a little thinner than that. But with that said, it's still a very nice proportions. It doesn't look out of place in the way of the thickness. And some people actually prefer those thicker cases. I just personally prefer thinner cases. I think 12 is about as much as I prefer in my watches. Right about 12 is probably about as thick as I prefer in a watch. So yeah, the other dimensions, of course, is going to be 40.5 meters diameter. And then the lug-to-lug is wearing it at 47.5. So pretty versatile watch. I mean, I think guys with, larger wrists can certainly wear this, but even guys with, anything over a 6.5 inch wrist, you shouldn't have any problem pulling this off and not having it look out of place. So looking at the watch as a whole, the strap, the leather band that comes with this is actually really nice. Seiko's pretty notorious for having poorly made straps on a lot of their watches that are otherwise really nice watches. This is a pretty new watch. It's not even really broken in, but this band is really nice. It's kind of a chocolatey, chocolate kind of colored, dark brown leather. Lonk B20 is what's under that. I'm not sure what that means. If you guys know, let me know in the comments what that means. Lonk B20. I've never seen that or noticed it. Of course, it has the deployment clasp as well, and very nice, very well done. Nice polish to it. Somewhat lightweight, but feels high quality. Yeah, it's just a really beautiful watch. If you're a fan of green dials and literally wearing artwork, then this is going to be the watch for you. Let me see if I can do the showcase this little date, this retrograde function here real quick. Yeah, so the retrograde function I was talking about earlier, it does this cool little snap back. So let's see if I can showcase this with the day down here. I'm sorry, the date rather down here. Once it gets to 31, keep an eye on that guy right there, and there it goes, pops right back. Same with the day. Get this cool little function where it'll pop right down to the last day. So like a little default motion there. Really cool. Yeah, and again, this just the feel of this is just really nice on the dial here. It does have, of course, the Seiko S signed. Yeah, guys, really nice finishing. You tell me what you think. Is this worth $1,900 to you? I think you're just gonna have mixed opinions. If you value the artwork aspect of this and the finishing, and you're a dial guy, you're like Mr. Wonderful, you love the dials, no doubt this is going to be a great value. If you're looking at strictly the movement, case finishing, I don't know. Hard to say if it's a $1,900 Seiko. I mean, it's not a Grand Seiko, it's a regular Seiko, so it's hard to say if that's some people would not see the value in that if they don't put the value into the dial aspect and the artwork aspect. So that's just again, personal preference. Like much of other watch collecting or all watch collecting, it's very much personal preference. So what do you value and what do you see the value in there? So the only thing that I'm gonna do a quick little wrist shot here on my 6 7/8 inch wrist, just under 7-inch wrist. But one thing I really, like I was saying before, I prefer thinner watches. So this one is 13 millimeters. It actually wears a little thicker than that to me. It feels like it wears thicker, probably because of the case back, the see-through, the transparent window case back deal here. I would like to see them do a version without that case back and shave off a millimeter or so, and then I would be much more inclined to want to wear this on a regular basis. So let's go ahead and do a quick wrist shot. All right, yeah, so here it is on my 6 7/8 inch wrist. Certainly fits great. I mean, can definitely be worn. It is not too large at 40.5 diameter there. Again, it's just all personal preference, but to me, that's a little thicker than I like for a dress watch. Some may disagree, again, very subjective, but to me, I'd like to see that be a little thinner, maybe maybe without that transparent case back, maybe shave off a millimeter or so. It's just a regular Seiko movement, so nothing spectacular, not a whole lot of finishing there that's really worth looking at. To me, I'd much rather have it be thinner. Other than that, amazing watch. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Would you guys like to get your hands on this for $1,900? Can you justify the cost? So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think it's a beautiful watch, and I could definitely see this being a awesome piece if you are into the art aspect of this, which is certainly the star of the show.